Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Referral Exchange Networking's Business Success Fertilizer application. As we know, it always isn't easy to compete with companies that are bigger than you and have greater resources. However, one advantage you can have is you can be smarter than they are. No one can tell you how much you can learn and how much of an expert and an asset you can be. That's why education is critical for small businesses and entrepreneurs. And that's why we at Referral Exchange Networking strive to make you just a little smarter every week. So let's get right to it. Without knowing it, without realizing it, many of us are slowly losing our ability to think, our ability to learn, and our ability to be creative. What's worse is that instead of simply losing it, we're actively giving it away. Why would we willingly do this? What could we possibly be thinking? Well, there's a problem. We aren't thinking. We're letting social media and Google do that for us. College scholar Amber Quinney, speaking at a TEDx youth in Buffalo, spoke about social media addiction, its harmful effects on the human brain and society at large, as well as the hazards of Google. Now, here are some of the things that she had to say, as well as my thoughts. Social media has programmed us to think less, to focus less, and to question less. So as we scroll through social media, we're feeding our minds content, ideas, thoughts, and emotions. Now, as I mentioned last week, in lieu of actively researching or creating, we're passively absorbing with little or no critical analysis. We have almost no control over the quality of all this, yet we continue to expose ourselves to it until, as she says, it becomes part of our character. Again, with little thought as to the quality or accuracy of it. Now, when we allow this to bleed over into our business, we blend into the background with everyone else. Our individuality fades to the point that we're no more than a watermark, almost indiscernible from our competition. In the Old West, it was said that the Colt 45 made all men equal. Well, today the Colt has been replaced by Google. Any information you could possibly want is instantly available. All knowledge is at your fingertips. You can find anything you want. Well, if that's the case, we don't have to think at all. Apparently, everything has been learned and there's nothing more to be discovered. Can you see how dangerous this mindset can be? In business, if you rely on the mediocre, fast food intelligence of Google and social media, you're going to be left behind. What we've done is to outsource our thinking to search engines. Outsourcing is defined as obtaining a good or service from an outside supplier in lieu of an internal source. In this case, the eternal source is us. When we do this consistently, we lose our ability to think critically, to rationalize, to create the images that we see inside our imagination. We allow others to do that for us. In business, it is often more efficient and cost-effective to outsource. We know that, but many of us have gotten lazy. Instead of striving to gain new knowledge and new experiences, we simply ask Google. The internet has shifted knowing from an internal source to an external source. By outsourcing our intelligence, we're denying ourselves the ability to truly excel and realize our full potential. The more we allow Google to think for us, the less creative and truly knowledgeable we become. Just like any other organ, our brain needs to be exercised and challenged. Otherwise, it becomes kind of anemic and our ideas become lackluster. It's never a good idea to let someone else do your thinking for you. Now, I can't leave this discussion of brain outsourcing without mentioning my good friend Dave Lebelzik of the Brain for Rent. Having worked with Dave myself, I can tell you that instead of doing your thinking for you, Dave forces you to do it. He keeps asking questions and shaking out habitual cobweb thinking patterns until the light bulbs come on. He's forcing us to think, which is what we need to do. Social media and Google are, of course, incredible tools. However, we have to avoid falling into the trap of allowing them to do our thinking and our questioning for us. In 1889, Charles H. Dwell was commissioner of the U.S. Patent Office. At the time, he was advising Congress that the Patent Office would soon need to shrink in size and eventually close because, quote, everything that can be invented has been invented. Well, I think he's been proven wrong. All right, that's it for this week. I hope you get something out of it. I hope it made you think. And if you'd like to learn about anything you just heard, know more about how you can grow your business by joining a referral exchange networking chapter, or even how to start your own chapter, reach out to me at raustin@referralexchangenetworking.com. That's exchange with an X. And if you'd like to be notified whenever we post some other educational video, subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner of this video. Well, that's it for this week. As I said, I hope you are well, and I hope you're safe. And I'll talk with you again next week. Bye, everyone.